Well, yesterday I was deciding whether or not to actually do a baseball video previewing the games, covering the Dodgers sweep, and then I figured I may as well wait until the wild card series are over. So I thought about doing it last night and then didn't quite have the stamina. So here we are this morning talking about the greatest month in sports in October: playoff baseball, NFL, college football, start of basketball. It's awesome. So we love October here on this channel, and baseball didn't disappoint yesterday. Now, I will preface, I played baseball in high school, but I'm certainly not the most knowledgeable here on the MLB, getting into it as many of y'all probably are as well. But I do love this part of the season, and I love watching these games. So the first one we'll talk about here is the Cubs versus the Padres. This is one where the Cubs won Game 1, Padres defended home field, and then the Cubs here in Chicago closed it out with a 3-1 victory over the Padres. And if you didn't watch this game, the big stories were the Cubs' playoff hitting offense. The Padres got out of a couple of jams there. I think the Cubs scored 2 runs in an inning where they had 6 or 8 hits. This is one where, the energy was there. Palencia was a little bit knocked around in the start of this game, but there were guys that were really making a difference on the offensive side. Bush had 3 hits. Tucker had 2, Kelly had 2, and PCA was one of the big stories for the Cubs as well with 3 hits. Had some big plays in the outfield as well, just kind of really getting that offense to go. So the Padres, they really just struggled with the scoring offense here in this game. They scored 3 runs in their only win on Wednesday at home, but in total in the series they scored 5 runs. And just looking at that, they scored 1 run each time on the road. It's hard to win a series when your offense is not clicking. Really, this game, the only offense that they had was Merrill, who knocked the solo home run shot there. And looking down here at the rest of the batting order, Furman led in batting average, but it was Merrill with batting .333 in the series. Almost everyone else was below 300. Bogarts and Merrill were the only guys above for the Padres. So just a struggle on the offensive side, and we see this out of a lot of teams that play well in the regular season. Come postseason time, you have one bad series and your season's over. And it's disappointing, but that's the way the cookie crumbles here in baseball. The next one we'll get to is the Tigers-Guardians. This is one where Detroit was able to win this game, and the Guardians actually went ahead early. This was a back-and-forth one, and the Tigers just piled it on in the 6th inning, I believe. This is one where Cantillo, he pitched decently well for the Guardians, but it was really the Tigers going in on the relief effort for the Guardians, and they were able to get this 6-3 win. It was kind of a group effort. Dingler hit a nice home run there for the Tigers, whereas there were no home runs shot by the Guardians, and they're able to come back and win this series. Looking down here, it was, I believe the Tigers won Game 1, Guardians win Game 2. It's the same kind of thing where it's home team wins, away team wins, home team closes the series. And in the wild card, not having the home field advantage is really critical. It's really about starting strong. So when you have home field, those teams have particularly showed out in these opening series. And next up, the Cubs will take on the Brewers next, and as well with that, the Tigers will take on the Mariners, who've had a pretty impressive season as well. So both these teams will be the underdog in the next series. But we know how the wild card teams particularly play well in the second series. Even oftentimes against the teams with the league's best records, the wild card teams seem to have an extra edge of momentum. They've already figured out some of their playoff hitting rotations. Some of the pitchers have showed up. There's energy in the stadiums, knowing that your team has already won a series. So I like both of those teams in the next round. But the big game, the most impressive game of the day here was the Yankees. And they won 4-0, but it was not the hitting effort. It was the absolute pitching masterclass by Schlitt for the Yankees. 12 strikeouts. Just an unbelievable game. I watched almost the whole thing in this one. Schlitt was unhittable. Only 5 hits allowed in 8 innings. 12 strikeouts. There was not a runner that reached second base or reached past second base the entire game when Schlitt was on the mound. It was just an impressive effort from the Yankees ace, and this was his most strikeouts in the major leagues as well. Just a masterclass from him, and with some veteran leadership on the bench as well. This is one where the Yankees fans can get really excited, and I know a few Yankees fans, a lot of them were pretty nervous about the series against the Red Sox, just with the rivalries and how the postseason has gone in recent years. The Yankees, of course, made the World Series last year, but they're no stranger to disappointing postseason performances. So, Schlitt, an incredible game. He just really showed that young players can make a huge impact in the postseason again, and the Yankees are primed here for their next series, which will be against the Blue Jays, who of course won the division and led in record. So they won their division and I think won over 100 games. So it's going to be a tough matchup, but the Yankees riding some momentum. We know what the home field advantage can be like in New York, and they just played a great all-around game. So you got to be happy if you're a Yankees fan. I know it was extremely nerve-wracking. And yeah, baseball's back. It's back and extremely fun. Never a better time to be a baseball fan than October. But let's flip over here to NFL real quick. Just recap the game last night. It was the 49ers against the Rams. I did not rank the 49ers in my most recent top 10 teams. Mac Jones actually came back this week, which may have shifted my rankings. But looking down here at this game, the 49ers won in overtime. Just an awesome victory. It was back and forth. It was Nakua who scored another touchdown, keeping his streak alive to start the season. 10 receptions, still leading the league in receptions and on pace to set all kinds of new records. But it was the 49ers that came back, tied this thing, went to overtime, and won in overtime. Huge win, huge divisional win. There's going to be some questions for the Rams to answer. And also the 49ers, they're banged up, and they were still able to win this game. The receiving, looking down here at the receiving, the guys that caught passes, Kendrick Bourne had 140 yards for the 49ers, with Pearsall injured, Ayuk, Jennings, all those guys injured. And Christian McCaffrey second in receiving with 82 yards. Jake Tonji's next with 7 receptions for 41 yards and a touchdown as well. It was kind of a balanced attack. They stuck to the run. McCaffrey had 22 carries, but they utilized McCaffrey all over the field. He touched the ball 30 times in this game. And I think it just shows that Shanahan's game planning for the 49ers is truly unmatched throughout the rest of the NFL. They were able to, spread the ball around, get the rookie Tonjis involved. They ran the ball in a variety of ways. They gave Mac Jones time. He was only sacked once for 9 yards. Stafford, on the other side, played a good game. Threw for nearly 400 yards from 3 touchdowns. They relied very heavily on the air attack. And, of course, Kyren Williams had a better game than he has in previous games. He touched the ball as well 22 times, kind of mixing him in the running and passing game similar to McCaffrey. He also caught 8 passes for 2 touchdowns and 60 yards. But in this one, it was really the 49ers defense that was able to get the stop in overtime and help this team win. They held the Rams out of the end zone in overtime. And it was just an impressive victory for a 49ers team that I thought was going to take a few weeks to a few months to be back and healthy. But right now, they're leading the division. This is a tight division here. We've got the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks all battling for a potential playoff spot. And it seems like the 49ers aren't going anywhere anytime soon. So there'll be another team to watch here. And also how the Rams will respond with more time. I'm not worried about the Rams. However, losing a game at home to a banged-up 49ers team who's now 3-0 on the road, it shows that this team is not quite as ready to dominate the NFC or really contend in a way that I thought. They need to kind of raise the level, raise the floor of their play. They didn't score in the first quarter, kind of rallied back in the fourth to send this thing to overtime, but clutch moments, Stafford didn't step up. And we'll see. Yeah, it didn't turn the ball over, but we'll see how this team responds throughout the rest of the way. Well, that'll do it for today's morning coverage. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you back tomorrow for some college football previews, some morning last-minute previews, and talking about the Friday night games.